Hi guys, so this is Factorising Quadratics where a is greater than 1. So what you should notice in the two examples is that there is a difference to factorising easier quadratics. So the main difference is that there's a number that's in front of the x squared, so you should be able to see that straight away. So there's a number in front of the x squared in both examples. So there's a 3 in front of the x squared in the first one, and there's a 2 in front of the x squared in the second one. So that actually makes things more complicated, and that's just what we mean by where a is greater than 1. So you should have seen before that ax squared plus bx plus c is the general form of a quadratic expression. So it just means that the a you'll obviously you're able to see is the thing that's in front of the x squared. So how to factorize these anyway? So I'm going to put down a 3x and an x like this, and I'm going to do a kind of a cross. So you should be familiar with factorizing normal quadratics first before you really have a look at this. So if you're not sure of what to do with quadratics where there's nothing in front of the x squared, then have a look back at that first. So what happens with these arrows and the way I'm putting this cross here is that whatever goes down here, whatever number goes down here has to be multiplied by 3 because there's a 3 in front of the x up there. So other than that, we're still just picking factors of 18. So factors of 18, I could have 1 times 18. I could have 2 times 9. You could have 3 times 6. And then they're all the factors of 18. So you're still picking 2 factors, but I'm going to put the two factors now here, and like I was saying, whatever goes on the one on the bottom in this case has to be multiplied by 3 for when you're adding them together to get minus 15. So a little bit more complicated, and there's a good few things to think about here. But if you just try and start putting in the numbers anyway, if I was to start with 1 and 18, so if I put a 1 there and an 18 there, that would mean that the 3 multiplies by 18, so that would turn it into 54, I think. And then if you're adding 54 to 1, then that won't get you to 15 because I want minus 15 here. So obviously then that's not where we put the numbers, so 1 and 18 won't work there. If I was to put a 1 here and an 18 up here, so that means that the 3 will multiply this 1 down here, so it turns this 1 into a 3 really, because it has to be multiplied by 3. And then that will kind of get you to minus 15. So if I was to make the 18 negative there, well then you'd have minus 18 plus 3 really, because that turns into a 3 because it's been multiplied. So minus 18 plus 3 would be minus 15, and that's what I'm trying to get. So I've got two numbers, multiplied to get that multiplied to give 18, and that sum to give minus 15. So that's really it there. That's the hard work done. Watch the way the brackets are formed then. So you have to read across. So the numbers on the top, they're going to go into one bracket, so I'm going to get 3x minus 18, and then I read across on the bottom. So x and positive 1 are going to go into another bracket, so x and plus 1. So that's the way it's factorized then. Example 2 here, so I'm going to put down a 2x and an x. I'm going to draw my cross again like this. So it's 50 here, so is the number in the end, so I'm going to list factor pairs of 50. So 1 multiplied by 50, 2 multiplied by 25, 5 multiplied by 10. So again, whatever goes on the bottom down here, it has to be multiplied by 2 first before we add it to try and get minus 20. So I'm still looking for two numbers that multiply to give 50 and some to give minus 20. So if I was to try 1 and 50 anyway, well, 2 being multiplied by 50 would turn the 50 into 100, so that obviously wouldn't work because it gets us way too far away from minus 20. And then the other way around won't work either. 1 and 50 up there wouldn't work either because the 2 multiplies the 1 turned into 2. If you try 2 and 25, so 25 here, that wouldn't mean that the 25 would turn into a 50 because it's being multiplied by 2. And sorry, 2 goes there, so that wouldn't work either. And it wouldn't work the other way around if I had 25 on top and 2 on the bottom. Well, it would be close actually if I had 25 there and 2 there, because that would turn the 2 on the bottom into a 4, and then it would get you, it might get you back to 21, but that's not quite minus 20. So 5 and 10 are the only ones left. So if I try 5 here and 10 here, now because they're being multiplied to give you a positive number, they either both have to be positive or both have to be negative. So it will actually work then if both are negative there. Minus 10 multiplied by minus 5 is positive 50, like I want. And then this minus 5 on the bottom turns into a minus 10 because it's been multiplied by 2x, by 2. So minus 10 take away 10 would be minus 20, which is what I want. So again, watch the way they go into the brackets then. So I'm going to get 2x minus 10 and x minus 5. So they're my answers. So here's 2 that you can try now if you want to pause the video and then play it on, and I'll run through the answers. So the first one anyway, 14 is the number, so I could have 1 multiplied by 14 or 2 multiplied by 7. These ones are actually easier as well because they've got all positives in them. So if I was to try 1 and 14 right here, it wouldn't work. 1 and 1 there, 14 wouldn't work there because it would make that 14 into a 28, so it would give you 29 altogether. And it wouldn't work the other way around either. So 2 there and 7 there, that's the way it's going to work. So this 2 on the bottom turns into a 4 because it's because of the 2x up here. So 7 plus 4 would be 11. So my brackets then are 2x plus 7 and x plus 2. So that's my first bracket, and then this is my second bracket. Question 2 then. So because 4 is on the end here, I can only have 1 times 4 or 2 times 2. So it has to be one of those combinations. It's going to be, because we've got 21 here, it's going to be 4 here and 1 here, because we'll need something big to multiply by the 5 to get it up to 20 from what we have, from the numbers that we have. So 5 times 4 then turns this into a 20, and then you're adding on a 1 here, so that's 21. So that's what we want. So my brackets here are 5x plus 1, x plus 4.